call. Yeah. I know it seems like things are really busy right now, but in 5 days, 19 hours, and 34 minutes, yeah, you're going to obligate me to go to a cell hearing where you broke the actual judicial system of the United States. Now, to just take it back, okay? Judge Porter, yes. Did I fail to appear at your request? Because I don't remember you putting it on the docket. At least my public defender didn't give me the actual notice of the docketed hearing. Yeah. I didn't get 2 judicial days prepared to go to court. Then there's Judge Rohrer, where the mail was returned unclaimed 2 days after you had the non-jury trial, where my wife said, well, I mailed it to him and she mailed it to the wrong address. How many divorces have happened where there's been no proof of actual service of notice of court hearings? Yes. Then there's the 2-count criminal complaint in Sequim, Washington, where I was on the bus that morning and I was in this library. There's the issuance of the weapon surrender form where there's no signature of the protected person. No. The duress of the signature of the ex-officio superior court clerk. That the restrained person didn't have actual notice and an opportunity to be heard, and that the restrained person never represented a credible threat to the physical safety of the protected party or the children of the restrained person. I'm not the parent that put them in school 2 years behind where they should be at. Pooch. Then there's the forgery of the ex-officio superior court clerk. Yes. No acknowledging receipt of the copy of this order of the petitioner. Yes. And then there's you putting me in jail where you were sending all the court notices to 1023 Kitchen Dick Road. Happened to be the same individual that used a picture of my sister Susan Bowers in a Rotarian newsletter. Yes. That is not Marilyn Van Proy, and it misrepresents her actual identity. Then this alleged, yes, on or about December 31st, yep, at 7:47 a.m. and 4:40 a.m. I was in this library. Pouch. And then there's the issuance of all these court orders where all you had to say was the individual was crazy and they had no rights at all. Now, I just sent you an email, yeah, documenting that my sons are being exploited, and you're sitting around waiting for me to be admitted into a mental institution for a crime I didn't commit. Now, this $500,100 bail that they thought was so funny at the Jefferson County Jail, yes. I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was excessive. How seems to be certain laws against doing that type of thing. Yeah. And then using the address where I hadn't lived there for over 5 years because the pastor happens to be married to a woman that I want to have sex with. Yes. And then this violation date where I was in Port Angeles, Washington, and nobody investigated the 2-count criminal complaint. And then this personal recognizance where I'm not allowed to travel to Brendan, Washington. Yeah. Where I've been on trial for a year and 4 months. Yes. I went through multiple mental health evaluations. And you are sitting there waiting for me to be admitted to Western State Hospital. The 5 minors named, yeah, are 2 grades behind what they should be at. Benjamin was 4 years old at the time of this being issued. Yes. Well, he's 7.5 years old now. You're not going to let me have my sons because you won't let me sue you. You won't let me have you put in prison when I've documented all this fraud. Yes. And your whole thought is, well, we're the judiciary. We can just say the guy's crazy. This order dismissing the misdemeanor charges, yeah. You didn't dismiss it because of the evidence. You dismissed it because you didn't want me in jail anymore. The evidence would have proved that I wasn't in Sequim, Washington. But you didn't use evidence. You just didn't want to listen to recorded phone calls anymore. Then there's the dissolution of marriage. Yeah. I never got notice. The declarations of mailing of the petitioner. Yeah. That's been exploiting my sons for 7 years and 5 months. Yeah. Has had them in school 2 grade levels behind where they should be at. This mail returned unclaimed. Yeah. This whole big plan of yours that we're going to violate the actual parenting rights of myself. Yes, we're going to violate the civil rights of my sons to the equal protections of the law. And then we're going to continue to act like we don't have any idea of exactly how criminal this is. I'm telling you, okay, I'm going to end up owning a lot of the five-star hotels of the world. I'm going to run this little charity for those that volunteer. Ooch, ooch, ooh. And you're going to go to prison. Do you understand, Sheriff? I spent the last 3 years informing you of the crime of issuing court orders where there is no due process to myself. Yeah. Where the petitioner did not sign the protection order. And you issued it for 10 years. And the whole time you laughed your fucking ass off that I was living in a homeless shelter being tortured because your family never goes to prison. Your family never gets sued. There is no law enforcement of this nation. Now I'm going to tell you again. I want my sons to call me. And I want to speak to Marilyn Van Proyn about where she wants to reside and who it is that she wants to parent her own children. Oh. Now, I know there's enough supporting evidence to convict Mike Van Proyn, of collusion in your local conspiracy of depriving Americans of their rights. Then there's the state involvement of refusing to support and defend their Constitution. Yes. Then there's every state's involvement of you issuing court orders that involve the full faith and credit of the United States Constitution. Don't ever fucking think I want to sue every state right now because you're playing some little fucking game where this county's going down and the rest of the United States isn't. Well, I'm here to tell you.